This is what it is all about. The electricity in the arena last night and this play. Brian, I don't think it was ever louder than when Tyrese Haliburton stole this ball and Pascal Siakam flying over J-Dub in the flyover
That's an iconic play that will be always remembered by anybody who was at the arena last night.
Let's see exactly how the Indiana Pacers forced this Game 7, shall we, fellas? Because Tyrese Haliburton, he played through a calf strain, but he looked pretty good here, Perk.
He did. I mean, he came out, he picked his spots. Great job by Rick Carlisle of letting him play without the ball. He didn't dribble up the court a lot, but he was fantastic to say he was, out there in the entry.
We said that it was so important that they were able to close out the last couple of minutes of the second quarter strong, and Pascal Siakam did with an exclamation mark. Another look at this slam with authority. Here's how it sounded in Portuguese on ESPN.
Haliburton tenta rouba a bola, faz o passe com Siakam! Pascal!
I think Chad, he showed one of my college highlights the other day. Felt like college a little bit, just baby bounce.
Well, Siakam was not done there. You called for him to search out mismatches, UD. He did that here on this possession.
Yeah, Alex Caruso is a great defender, but he's in Siakam's world right here. And that turnaround jumper is basically unguardable with a guy that size, and he shoots it with efficiency.
You know who is loving it? One more look at that Pascal Siakam shot. Lance Stevenson and Pacers fans already sensing here a Game 7, saying this series ain't over yet. In the third quarter, the Pacers up 24 here. Obi Toppin, we said someone else would need to come along for Indiana. Obi did. He became the first bench player since 1971 to lead their team in scoring when facing elimination in the NBA Finals. It was scrapping, it was clawing. They got off the plane. I don't know if OKC did. Hey, Andrew Nembhard gets it to Ben Shepherd, hits the three to beat the buzzer. The fans loving it. And so does Tyrese Haliburton. Perk, I promise I celebrate all of your accomplishments, just like Tyrese celebrates Ben Shepherd there. The Pacers stave off elimination to force a Game 7 with a 108-91 victory. And they did it despite being underdogs again. Honestly, at this point, I think they want to be underdogs in every game. They've won their 10th game as an underdog this postseason, tying the 2023 Miami Heat for the most in a single postseason in the last 35 years. Here's Haliburton after the game.
There's nothing like a Game 7. There's nothing like a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. Dreamed of being in this situation my whole life, so to be here is really exciting for me and our group. It's already written. We've worked our tails off to get here, and just gotta trust the work that we've put in. And yeah, man, I wouldn't want to go to battle with any other guy. So I'm really excited about it.
One game. I mean, this is what it's all about. I mean, this is what you dream about growing up, this kind of opportunity. The opportunity to play in a game like this is a great honor and a great privilege.
It's what it's all about. I cannot wait for Sunday for Game 7. But considering what the Indiana Pacers did here, Tyrese Haliburton, he came into this game and we were all wondering what exactly, Brian, he could give. And then he comes out, does that, and only plays 23 minutes to sort of preserve himself a little bit more for Sunday.
Yeah, I think was important at about 5 o'clock, maybe 5:30 yesterday. They closed the bowl, kicked everybody out, sealed the bowl off, and they put Tyrese through a workout. And I think whatever he showed in that workout must have given confidence, because Rick Carlisle came out and said no restrictions, he's going to play, and the team trusted him right out of the gate. And you could see immediately he was feeling really good. That was the thing. How was he going to move? The answer was very well.
You know what? They sealed the bowl-ish because I was watching Tyrese Haliburton.
Oh, that's illicit.
Do that workout, and he was on the floor for about 30 minutes, Perk, and I wasn't sure. I don't watch him before every single game, obviously, but everything was kind of at half speed. He wasn't really getting to that sidestep move that he likes to create separation for the three. When he couldn't get away from Hartenstein early on, I was wondering what he was going to be able to bring. The fight from these Indiana Pacers, it never ceases to amaze me.
At all. And they stood on business yesterday.
Yes, sir.
I mean, let's keep it real. They punked OKC. They embarrassed Oklahoma. They made Oklahoma smell like cologne. Oklahoma was not ready for the moment, the physicality, the intensity that the Indiana Pacers brought last night, right? And it fed off the energy of the crowd. Yes, Tyrese Halliburton as a leader, coming in, playing injured, being out there was a huge deal. But then that damn TJ McConnell, 6'1", 6'2", whatever he is, goddammit, UD, he was out there causing havoc again.
I mean, look at him. I love him because he's undrafted like myself. So we in the undrafted club. My undrafted brother, TJ McConnell. But his effort and energy on both ends, not just offensively. We understand what he does offensively, getting to his spots with the right-hand pull-ups. But he continues to get steals in the backcourt. Like, at some point, you got to understand that you can't give those up. Right here, we talk about it. We get a missed shot. There's an opportunity to get out on the break. Look who is lurking. My boy, TJ McConnell. I don't know how they don't see him right there. Maybe because he's 6'1", they look right over him. But once again, this sparks a shot for Obi Toppin. This sparks a shot for Obi Toppin, who's a guy who got it going early and scored 20 points and led them in scoring. So you get him an early, easy bucket, and you get him going. Right here, I understand he's not a shooter, but they give him too much space. TJ McConnell starts to get downhill, and now all you can do as a defender is react to him. That's bad defense. You got to push up, you got to push him one way, and you got to react. Once again, you see here a pick and roll. We try to go under because we think he's not a good shooter, but we allow him to get to his spots. He has shot this shot in the gym 1,000 times. It doesn't matter that you got a hand up. He got to his spot. He is comfortable. If OKC wants to win this series and slow down TJ McConnell, they have to make him uncomfortable. I understand he's not a great shooter, but you have to push up on him a little bit, make him go one way, and now he has to react to you. What OKC is doing is reacting to him every single time, but he's already getting to his spots, and it's too late.
OKC got out to like a 10-2 start in this game, and after that, it felt like the Indiana Pacers showed up, and the Oklahoma City Thunder forgot to. But Tricky Ricky, he also made a little bit of an adjustment here, right? Games 1 through 5, the average pickup distance for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, it was 60 feet away from the basket. They picked him up much, much lower, 39 feet here in Game 6, and it made all the difference. I asked SGA about that after last night's game.
They didn't pressure full court like they have been, which led to more turnovers. I didn't expect that, but whatever it is, they did it right. And if we want to win on Sunday, we got to take care of the ball.
So this, Brian, is what that looked like.
Yeah, they've been, actually taking Shai off the ball sometimes to save it. Look at him; he's never been able to ease up into it like that. And then they brought double teams, and this enabled them to make it. It was harder for them to target Halliburton too, because they knew they were going to look at Halliburton. Well, if they brought a double team and didn't pressure, then he was harder for them to isolate him onto Halliburton. There it is, double team late. 8 turnovers for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Not only the most he's ever had in a game in his career, the most in the finals for a single player in 40 years.
My concern is he's seen this before.
Shai.
SGA has seen this before. He saw this, I think it was Game 3 here, and it was 6 turnovers. He's seen the doubles in the post. He's seen them switch up instead of giving him that gap to get downhill. He's seen all these things before, so I don't understand why it bothered them. I think the effort is what bothered them. The effort of Indiana is what bothered them. It was not the scheme. They got outworked on both ends of the basketball court. That's what bothered them. And that's what Shai should have said. It had nothing to do with the schemes. You're the MVP. You've seen every scheme. Everybody's throwing the kitchen sink at you, and you figured it out. So that has nothing to do with you losing that game.
Well, I think his mindset wasn't there either, and that's not SGA, right? That's not his character, right? And one thing about it, he never shies away from accountability. We know that about SGA because for the fact that he was able to notice that without even watching the days of film goes to show you how he was paying attention to detail, and they did an outstanding job of making him play in the crowd. I was screaming, even in the Denver series, why don't you send a double team at this guy? He's the best perimeter player in basketball.
Right.
He will figure it out. The problem, I think, and the person that it affected the most was J-Dub. I think them falling back and not picking up 94 feet was to slow down J-Dub because J-Dub is great at getting into the open court. Right? He's great in the open court. He's the one that's been dominating outside of SGA. And so now all of a sudden you're seeing something, J-Dub, that you've never seen before. Now you're seeing the double team when you usually was driving and coming out in them spins and they was layups, you was driving into another body when you was spinning.
It felt like SGA had sort of a trickle-down effect because when you look at the numbers, it was Chet, right? It was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It was J-Dub. It was everybody when you look at their shots that started to struggle here. And that just makes, when they combine for they missed all 8 of their 3-pointers. They shot just over 40% as a trio. It's not going to get it done on the road. Let's take a listen to more SGA.
The way I see it is we suck tonight. We have to learn the lessons. And we have one game for everything we've worked for. It's one game for everything you ever dreamed of. If you win it, you get everything. If you lose it, you get nothing. And it's that simple.
Perk, how worried should they be?
I don't believe they should be that worried. I mean, you're going into a game 7, you at the crib, you fight. Listen, hold on, talking about. You fought your entire season to have the best record in the league, 68 wins, for a moment like this. The biggest game of your career.
Why am I starting to sing some people wait a lifetime for a moment like
it's
this?
on your home court. UD, I get it, right? Game 7, but you didn't have to go into Boston and get a crucial game 6 to get a game 7 back in Miami because you knew once you got them on your turf, that was y'all turf and y'all was going to stand on business. We know a guy like Chet Holmgren, and I'm not making excuses, but it's real. He's a guy that feeds off emotions, right? We saw last night, he looked scared. He was spooked. That lob Isaiah Hartenstein threw to him, if they was at the crib, he's snatching the screws out the rim. But they wasn't at the crib. They was on the road. I'm watching them get beat off the dribble on the single coverage. TJ McConnell taking them off the dribble. Chet not even get back to contest. In OKC, that's a block. Some guys need your home crowd to feed off emotions, to make plays and make shots.
But the difference between that is Indiana ain't never scared. They have not been scared at any point of this series. So I'm looking at that and I'm saying, what the hell is Chet scared of? Well, I mean, what is it? You're playing basketball. I get it. It's at the highest level. And yes, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking. But you got to go all out, man. You got to leave it out on the basketball court. And one thing I would say about Chet, struggling offensively, take a page out of Miles Turner's book. Continue to just guard the rim. That's keeping him on the basketball court. Continue to be the anchor of that defense. Continue to get stops. Hold guys accountable. And that'll keep you on the floor. And another thing, Chet cannot be who he's been. You have to have the Chris Bosh mentality. We understood that we could be a great team, but we're not winning a championship without Chris Bosh. You have to have your third anchor guy. He has to step up offensively.
I will say this. They are 18-2, the Thunder, after losses this year.
Yep.
That is how you get to 68 wins. They are 6-0 in the playoffs.
Yep.
They are playing at home. They have the best player, okay? So there is reason for them to have confidence. But I will say I did not like their emotional interest in last night's game. They did not play with an edge, and I will also say I saw this at the NBA Cup, and you can say that the NBA Cup and the finals are two different things. I'm not going to fight you. But I have watched them play twice this year for trophies, and in both games, I did not see the emotional edge, especially in the second half of both games. The second half of both of these games, they did not bring the edge. So while I look at those things and say the Thunder have been great and they should absolutely be favored, I'm a little bit worried about how they've handled the situation with the trophy sitting on the sideline.
I do think back, though, to that Denver Nuggets series, which every internet sleuth has pointed out how similar these two series are in terms of the complexion of the road team going up to the not Oklahoma City going up 2-1, Denver going up 2-1, and then Oklahoma City going up 3-2, and then laying an egg in Game 6, and then we all know what happened in Game 7. That is the one sort of antenna that continues to go up for me about what they have learned throughout this postseason.